This one's called Dinosaur Love. I want to say I love you, but it seems it's not enough. Because when people say I love you, it can mean a lot of stuff like, I'll always have your back, or I'm glad I'm not alone. Or to be honest, I'd say anything so you'll hang up the phone because I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. And these Doctor Who box sets ain't gonna watch themselves. I want to say I love you, but it seems it's not enough because when people say I love you, it can mean a lot of stuff, and all I'm really trying to say is, my name's Harry Baker, and I'm a poet.
If you're in tune with the poetry scene, you'll know of this lyrical whiz. But for those who are new, please watch the screen for the story of the Sunshine Kid.
A big part of my personality is trying to see joy in life.
A figure of youth with an ability to amuse, performing to crowds overseas. He gave TEDx over 1 million views and won the World Cup of slam poetry.
At its very heart, slam poetry is poetry designed to connect with whoever's listening to it. For someone, it might speak into something happening in their life. For someone else, they might just be like, okay, this guy really likes dinosaurs. I want to love you like a T-Rex with a tiny brain but a massive heart. And if I was a T-Rex, I could hold you in those T-Rex arms and protect you from harm, because that's dinosaur love. This poem came about just wanting to play with language and that kind of thing. And then this narrative took place, which was essentially, 17-year-old Harry fancying a girl who didn't fancy him back. And I mean, there's a lot of love poems out there, but what I loved about the dinosaur idea is this line that, as well as dinosaurs being these incredible creatures that as a teenage boy I thought were cool, they existed however many years ago. So it's that kind of mix of the fantastic and the brilliant, but also the real. I mean, the thing with dinosaurs is dinosaurs are kind of awesome. Well, not they actually existed, just my love is real. I ain't talking blindly walking, strings attached like Theseus. That's Minotaur love. So you've got your classic moleskin, your classic freebie, your classic forgot to bring a notebook, so got one at the airport. Freebie. Oh yeah. A poem takes on a different life when it's in your notebook as to when it's performed to 500 people I don't know. I have always written things with the aim to perform them out loud, but the more I've carried on writing, the happier I've been to sort of just write stuff for myself as much as anyone else. There's like diary entries in between that, poems and stuff, and then in amongst all of that there's like notes of puns and jokes that I want to do. When I'm working on a poem, I'll kind of go back over it again and again until it's kind of full, so it's not like I've got it start to finish. And even writing it out a couple of times helps me to sort of get it straight in my head. I started writing to have fun, to be playful. I never thought it would be a therapeutic thing. I never thought I'd feel like I needed to write to get stuff off my chest, but it's become a reflex reaction.
Do you ever go through the notebook and find an old poem which you think, oh, I never finished that one, it's actually pretty good?
Yeah, so that happened with the Paper People poem. I like people. I'd like some paper people. They'd be purple paper people. Maybe pop-up purple paper people. Proper pop-up purple paper people. How do you prop up proper pop-up purple paper people? I hear you cry. Well, I'd probably prop up proper pop-up purple paper people with the proper pop-up purple people paper clip. But I pre-prepare appropriate adhesives as alternatives, a cheeky backup router just in case the paper slipped, because I could build a pop-up metropolis. Paper People, I think sums up a lot of what I try and do. I just wanted to have fun with words, whether that was elaborate rhymes or alliteration or whatever, and then somehow in weaving that together a narrative starts to emerge. But I wouldn't want to deal with all those paper people politics, paper politicians with their paper thin policies, broken promises without appropriate apologies. be a little paper me and a little paper you. When I start poems, I'm not entirely sure how they're going to finish, but you do get a sense of where it's going. And so it's the first poem I mentioned politics in. And again, it didn't feel too controversial. You know, it's not about trying to get everyone to think the same as you. It's about meeting different people where they are and hoping you can encourage them or elevate them in some way. Because in the end, it all comes down to people. I like people. Because even when the situation's dire, it is only ever people who were able to inspire, and on paper, it's hard to see how we all cope. Because when I first started writing, I didn't feel that confident in myself, but I was confident in these words because I'd spent ages writing them. And through performing and being on stage and traveling around with it, I was more confident in my poems, but also in myself as a person. It was like, okay, maybe I can go up on stage, share my views on the world. By all means, not say this is what you have to believe, but at least be confident enough to say this is what I believe right now. You know, sometimes I get very shy and introverted and want to just shut myself away, and I can happily perform to 500 strangers and be fine, and then be in a conversation with 4 people I don't know and not be confident in my words at all, because that's real life. You can't control everything. And whereas being on a stage, whilst some people it seems terrifying to, it's one of the places I'm most comfortable. These are some lyrics about robot wars. This is me judging children's poetry in secret, and then you tell them all that they're great. This is, I do poetry workshops in schools, and once you get them to write, I just feel awkward sitting there for 10 minutes in silence, so I kind of join in. If you're an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I would
so this
one.
And I've gone for the quite profound. I would be a chicken and I would be delicious, but while I was alive, I wouldn't know what this is. We are all full of potential. Some of us hold this inside. Some only recognise for this after they die. So, you know, it's just existential animal poems.
After they die, because then they become meat. Is that what you're getting at?
Well, you know, in the animal world, also kind of bank off. I mean, I love trying to disarm people with humour, even if it's just like a couple of stupid lines, because it kind of shows that you don't take yourself too seriously. But the performers I love are the ones who can do both, who can kind of make you cry and then make you laugh afterwards.
Whenever you're ready.
Cool.
Old Man Sunshine was proud of his son, and it brightened his day to see his little boy run. Not because of what he'd done or the problems overcome, but that despite that his disposition remained a sunny one. It had not always been like this. There had been times when he tried to hide his brightness, you see. Every star hits periods of hardship, it takes a brighter light to inspire them through the darkness. So in a way, The Sunshine Kid is one of my most personal poems, just because in a nutshell it was about being bullied at high school and having a friend who helped get me through that, which at the time you feel like you're the only person who's ever gone through that particular pain and anguish, and the more I perform it, the more people I speak to, the more that is a universal thing. They made fun of his sunspots, shooting his dreams from the sky. The words were gunshots, designed to remind him he wasn't very cool, didn't fit in with any popular kids at school. They said his head was up in space, they would bring him down to earth. It is quite a raw thing to do, poetry, because you're not playing a character. So if you are being vulnerable, that doesn't stop when you get off stage. That is also your life.
Do you feel like you've changed as a person since writing poetry?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's weird because it's entwined. by writing and performing, I've travelled around and met a lot of people and just put myself in positions that I never thought I'd be in. And so to go from a introverted, shy teenager to performing in these new places, I developed as a human being. That all the darkness in the world could not put out the light from a single candle. So how the hell could they handle your light? Only you can choose to dim it, and the sky is the limit, so silence the critics by burning. And if eyes are windows to the soul, then she drew back the curtains and let the sun shine through the hurting. So in a universe of adversity, these stars stuck together. And though days became nights, the memories would last forever. Whether the weatherman said it or not, it would be fine, because we're behind the clouds, the kid could still shine. Yes, the sunshine kid was bright, with a warm personality. And inside he burnt savagely, fueled by the fire inspired across galaxy by the girl who showed him belief. And because sometimes you feel like, why do I do this? And there's many different ways of influencing people. But yeah, that's partly what has kept me going at times, is knowing that it does make a difference to people. I love doing it.
And thus ends the story of the Sunshine Kid, the life of a poetry nerd. But on a fresh note to finish with, here's the final word.
Thanks.
Might be one of the favourite things I've ever heard. That was amazing. That was really, really good.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed Harry's poetry, you can always support him by purchasing his book. And if you enjoy our work, then you can support us on Patreon or join us on social media. Links down below.